Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and a while back one of my subscribers asked me if I would make a primarily red bracelet. So I have got the beads down here and we're going to do that. Make it red and gold. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, I have got some red coral softflex medium beading wire. There's not a lot on this, but there's plenty to do a bracelet. And I've got some really pretty red beads, two type, a softly faceted round, and a faceted coin. And then, well, there's a lobster claw, that's our closure. And then we have a couple of jump rings, as well as a couple of crimp tubes in here. There should be one more jump ring. There it is. So then we also have all these beautiful gold beads. Now these gold beads here are actually hematite, reconstituted hematite with the gold color added. And then we have daisy spacers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the beads like this. And then to start out, I have a tiny, there we go, a small daisy spacer. There should be two of them, one for each side. And that's because sometimes the beads are big, holes are big enough that when you crimp your crimp tube into the little ball that the Magic Crimpers makes them into, it sinks right into the hole of the bead, and we don't want to do that. So then the rest of what we're going to do is we're going to take one daisy spacer, put it between two hematites, and it's going to go between each one of these beads. So it's just going to be really pretty when it's finished. I think red and gold makes such a cool combination, looks really elegant to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to just pull out some wire, and we're going to put a bead stopper on the end, and we're going to work right off this spool. So I put the bead stopper down here because if my beads would sink into the spool and then I couldn't really see what I was doing, and I don't really appreciate that. So this is a straight stringing project, so we'll just go with our small one, the round. Now we're going to do that pattern I was saying with the hematite, the bigger daisy spacer, and the hematite. And I think this makes a really cool pattern. And then the next one of the red beads. Now if this ends up being too long, we will of course have to take something off, and that will be the last red bead. And if we have to do that, I will probably find, hopefully we'll have room for me to find like a drook or something to put in that spot. But now, as I say, this is straight stringing, nothing fancy about it, but the two hematites and daisy spacers, I think, really adds something. I like the way it looks. Well, baby, go in. This is halfway point. And our last little bead, our last spacer, I should say. So there we go. So now I'm going to put this stopper way down here and slide these down over here. And then we'll stop it right there at the end. Now we'll measure it. Now it measures out to 6.5, which is fine. I'm probably going to leave it there without adding anything more to it, because once we put the hardware on, get our crimps and our hardware on, it's going to be a lot smaller. I mean a lot bigger. And if it's still smaller than I want it, I will put an extender chain on it. So let's clip this off right here. Put our wire aside. And then we're going to start our crimping process. So we'll just put our crimp bead on. Now at this point you can put your jump ring on as well if you wish to. And then we'll go back through our crimp bead and we'll just pull her up here. Since this is the first side, we don't have to worry about going over any beads or anything like that, because we can do that as we come around. So now that we've got this crimp tube in place and the bead in it, we put our crimp tube in the middle of the divot and push. And then we turn it. And squish again, turn, squish. And keep turning and squishing until it doesn't want to squish anymore. And then test it for to see if it's going to hold. I had one yesterday that didn't want to. I was really surprised. Well, I guess it wasn't yesterday. It was the day we made the anklet. I'm not sure what day that was. The anklet one side didn't want to hold. So cut off a little bit of this extra wire and we'll push our pieces down there to this side. And now we're on the other side. So we'll put our crimp tube in and our jump ring. And now we have to go through, this time we do have to go through our beads. I think I'll go to right here. Should be easy to pull through the daisy spacer. Or cut around the daisy spacer, I should say, for the extra. Now I'm going to hold my jump ring as I pull this up. And this should pull it up pretty good. For some reason it doesn't want to, so we'll get her over here. And pull her up. And I think we probably have her good right now. Looks like it. So we need to get our pliers in and get that in the middle. Squish, turn, squish, turn, feels pretty tight. So now we will cut our extra wire off right here. And there is our bracelet, though we have to put our lobster claw on right now, and then we will see exactly how long it is. So we just open up one of these jump rings. Now if it's just a little small, I could switch to a bigger jump ring on the other side, and that would make it be a little larger. But we'll see. Okay. Hook her up. Now she feels a little small to me, but that doesn't mean anything. It just means it feels a little small to me. So let's put her on our sizer. Oh, see, she's almost 7. So we could leave it with the small, or we could put a little chain and a little decoration on the end to make a bigger bracelet. Like I say, if I were to just take and put a larger jump ring right here instead of this small one I have, if I put a big one, we would probably go down to the 7. And I may just do that because this little one is, well, it's easier to grab hold of when you're putting them on with the bigger one anyway. So let's put a bigger one on. Only one, babies. Open this little one up here. Open our bigger one. I don't know about all you, but I'm getting a little older, and I like some bigger stuff sometimes. It makes it easier to handle things. So, especially when you're getting things on by yourself. So there it is with the larger jump ring. And let's see how much space that gave it. Now you see it's almost 7, still not quite, but darn close to it. But I like this sparkly gold and red. The red and gold combo, in my opinion, looks really elegant. So there is our bracelet, and we're going to put this bracelet aside, and we're going to make a pair of earrings to match. Now, if I decide to put on the some extender chain, I will also have to find a little charm because I like them both on there. But let's just get our earrings out first. So our earrings are in this package. And how we're going to do this, we are going to use some really pretty posts out of my stash. Well, I guess everything here is out of my stash when it comes right down to it. So there's the post. That's what we're going to use instead of ear wires. Here is some ball head, 3-inch ball head head pins. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little one on. Come on, baby. And then one of the coins. And then we're going to put on our spacer pattern with the hematite, the daisy, the hematite, and then our round bead, and then another little tiny spacer up here at the top. So that's what our earring is going to look like. Well, it'll look like this once we put it on. But so we're going to get this folded over, and then I will string up this other one. So same pattern, of course. And there's the second, so we'll just flip it over. And now we're going to get our bell making pliers out. And we'll do our fold. So put the bigger one in, wrap it around the smaller, bring her down and around and over. This is a little crooked, so we're going to straighten it. There we go. I think we straightened a little too much maybe, because she looks like she's out of whack here at the bottom. So we'll get our round back in there. Now we'll do the same with this one. Put this in, round about, over, bring her down, leave a gap, bring her up a little bit. There we go. So now we're going to feed them onto these really pretty ear wires. They do have a way of opening, but I don't like to open gold if I can help it, because for some reason the gold ones just like to break. And the first time open and close, they're usually fine, but if for some reason you have to open them again, they're toast. They just don't manage to make that second. Come on, you, go sit on here right. So then we'll wrap these guys up. Cut the little bit all excess off and tuck it in. Okay. Now we can turn this, because it was around the other way, and put its little post back on. Now I notice this post is a little bit bent downwards, so we're going to carefully bend it back up. And there's our first one done. So now we'll do the same with the second. Feed our little post onto our circle here. Grab hold where the wires come together. Wrap her up. Now you'll probably notice that I just bent that wire up a little bit, and that is because if it's down at the beginning, then it will try to fall down further on your base wire than right up at the top. It will try to come down some. So I always try to make sure that it's always bent up just a hair's breadth so that it will flow properly. Now we'll tuck this baby in. Check this wire, see if it's bent any. You know, it looks pretty good. Well, maybe a little teeny bit, but not too much. And there's our second earring. We need to put its back on. And our earrings are done. Aren't those pretty? And see how nicely they match our bracelet. So Well, I'm not going to put an extender chain on because as I go through my wire, I discover that either A, the links are too small. The color is good, but the links are too small for the lobster claw, like this one. Or the links are bigger than I want, like my paper clip chain, which has big links, so I don't really want that length of a link. Or they're the wrong color gold, like this one. So I've decided just not to put a extender chain on here unless somewhere down the road I can find one that works well. So there is our bracelet, and here is our earrings to match. Okay, there is our red bracelet with the gold findings. I really think red and gold really sets off red nicely. So there is our red and gold bracelet. And here are our earrings to match. So there we go. Maybe someday down the road I'll make a necklace to match too. You never can tell. Anyway, aren't those pretty? So elegant. Red and gold. It just says rich to me. So anyway, this is our red and gold earrings and bracelet set. And this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.